I would get a value from a reader, I'd plunk that into the bottom field, and I would get back the company code and the G10, and then I can use that G10, going to the next slide, to be input into another tool to provide the company name and address and that type of information. So again, this is a free utility. The URL for this tool is listed at the bottom of the page. And I'll just point out that this trio of slides that I've just showed you is really a nice example. It will give your technical team a head start if you're encoding tags yourselves. There's also a tag data standard document later on in the presentation that gives the more technical details that support this. So that was all about the EPC structure and data, but I mentioned I'd come back to the topic of serialization. So, serialization enables items to be uniquely identified. So think about with a barcode, you can scan the same item twice, and you can make a system think that there are two items, because the two barcodes that for the same item are the same, right? There's no distinction between them. But this is not so with RFID because it recognizes each individual item using that serial number. And we see this all the time. Comparing, say, a physical inventory count to an RFID scan, we see that the RFID scans are always even more accurate than the physical inventory. That's for that reason. Serialization unlocks all sorts of benefits. For example, you can know how long an item is in the stock room before moving to the sales floor and then being sold. And this can give you great insights into certain key store processes. You can know the sales performance of a collection of items set aside for promotion or special display. And you can understand, okay, well, how effective was this promotion? Serialization enables accurate counting of items, and it's even part of the item search, or as we saw earlier, the Find It app that was shown in the video. Now, serialization is a requirement, and it is the responsibility of the holder of the GS1 company prefix. Each item for a given product should have its own unique serial number. So, for example, if you have two shirts that are the same style, color, and size, and therefore the same UPC, then they should have different serial numbers. If you have a red shirt and a blue shirt, then their product UPCs are different, so they can have the same serial number. So just using this example to show that you can manage serial numbers to the product level, if that makes sense. Now, there are several approaches to serialization. There are centralized or distributed approaches if you're doing it yourself. The centralized solution manages blocks of serial numbers, assigning them to devices such as printers or handheld encoders that are produced. Right? Whereas the distributed solution will assign serial number ranges to particular sites that produce RFID tags, and then sub-ranges for particular printers in each site, so kind of a hierarchical distribution of number ranges there. Now, these are valid approaches, but I'll note that most companies leverage service bureaus to provide the RFID tags. These service bureaus manage the serialization as well. The one call-out is that you should have a document from the service bureau explaining their serialization model. Now, Walmart utilizes Avery Dennison and RPAC as well as other partners for their RFID solutions. These partners provide service bureau offerings. GS1 US has the listing of solution partners that can support your service bureau needs with our solution partner finder, and also you can see this also listed in the RFID playbook, as mentioned earlier. Now, it's not required, but you may find it helpful to have the ability to record serial number assignments now or at some point. As Justin alluded to, there are additional benefits, and some of these include anti-counterfeiting or brand protection research that could be realized in the future. And finally, I'll note here that all tags should be permalocked, which is a technical feature that prevents tags from being changed after they are initially encoded. So we've covered the data that has been encoded into a tag. Now let's talk about tag marking. So the EPC, or electronic product code symbol, indicates that an RFID tag is present. RFID tags are most often embedded in the price ticket, or inlays are in the price ticket, and that has the UPC printed on it and the EPC symbol as well printed on the face of the ticket. The symbol notifies stores and DCs that an item is already tagged, so they don't mistakenly add another tag. It is important to note that the EPC symbol should only be placed on an item that does have an RFID tag, and ideally it is visible when viewing the EPC. Now, regarding tag placement, the vast majority items are tagged at source, as we know, right, which brings the lowest cost and greatest benefit. Typically, like I said, the RFID inlay is embedded in the price tag. And I just have a few gotchas I want to highlight, a short list of things that you want to make sure you avoid. First, you wouldn't want to layer RFID tags directly one on another. You wouldn't put one directly on top of another, as that would impact both tags. And you also wouldn't want to put more than one tag on a product, as that item would be double counted. So just one tag per product. You wouldn't want to fold the tag on itself or place them on metal, such as like a foil packaging, as that metal would impact the tag's performance. And you can work with your label provider to address any potential concerns. They're going to be able to help you. Now, if you're using new label stock, you want to make sure that your tag provider evaluates the various packaging materials and you also look at the tag adhesive to ensure proper adhesion. As you know, products undergo some extreme temperature and humidity changes as they go through the supply chain, and you wouldn't want your labels losing adhesion in that process. So make sure your solution partner is aware of any metallic trim or product packaging changes moving forward. And the tag placement guidelines linked here illustrates the preferred locations for RFID tag placement. I have a couple of examples here. So for this example shows the image from preferred and alternate placement of tags on hanging pants and shorts. And the preference is always to incorporate the RFID tag into or onto the same tag showing UPC. You can see the placement guidelines here. And likewise for tops, this image from the guidelines shows preferred and alternate placement of tags for these hanging tops, right? Placing the tag either at the top care label or left cuff seam as the first preference. And again, the preference is always to incorporate the RFID tag into the same hang tag that displays the UPC. Now, having said that, I'll wrap up my portion of the presentation by inviting you to contact us via this email address. We're happy to address any questions that you have that are about the standards or technology, noting that business questions should be directed to Walmart directly. And with that, I will hand off the baton off to Nick.
Thank you, Jonathan. So just to recap briefly, we've talked about what RFID will mean to the apparel business. We've covered scope, expectations, and the timeline, as well as the benefits we expect from this program. We went through an RFID overview, talked about the tag selection and the quality validation processes required, and we talked about tag and code specifications. So our next step is to talk about the resources, contacts, and next steps for this program. Today, you will receive a communication from us that contains a link to the Supplier Academy page within the retail link. That page will host the RFID resources for this program going forward. On that page, you'll find a copy of this presentation and then later the recorded version of this webinar. You'll also find, perhaps most importantly, the RFID playbook, which lists the specifications and the requirements for the Walmart RFID infrastructure. And you will find the supplier contact matrix. As you've just heard, GS1 Auburn are experts in this space, and they will be available as resources to answer questions. The types of questions you have, beyond what we've covered in the research overview, will dictate where you send your questions. So, as always, if you have questions about your business and your costs, you'll reach out to your buyers and to your DMAs. If you have questions about how to encode tags, about serialization, you reach out to GS1. If you have questions about the ARC program, tag specification, quality check process, or if you want to take Auburn up on an RFID demonstration or talk about supply chain, you'll reach out to Auburn University. Questions outside of that can be directed to us with Walmart Apparel RFID. And again, we are always available for a resource if you have any additional questions about scope or timing or status. We have some resources listed on the next slide. We're not going to go through each of these during the webinar, but these, as well as other resources from Auburn and from us, will again be available on this page. Just to recap the timing of this effort, our goal is all products arriving in stores by August 1st of 2020 is RFID tagged. We can go to the next slide. One more. Thank you. January 15th, again, is deadline to send samples to Auburn. Walmart week 34 to 37, we will be checking in with you on status updates of on this tagging effort. And while all of this is going on, we will be working on software development, hardware selection, procurement, and distribution, on process development, and of course, training our associates. We'll be testing and conducting proof of concept to ensure that we are ready to start piloting and rolling out. So our goal is Q3 of 2020. With that leads us to next steps for suppliers. You now have the information to begin developing your plan for RFID tagging. Again, those resources will be available through retailing on the Supplier Academy page. We'll send that to you this afternoon. If you don't receive that information from us today, you're welcome to reach out to that RFID email and let us know. We'll make sure that we can get it. You'll update us on any changes or concerns you have with the program. The ability to track the status of each supplier's effort throughout the program, that's what we are planning in preparation for rollout next year. And so we will be in contact with you. And certainly if you have questions or concerns, we'll ask you to reach out to us with those questions and concerns. That conducts the webinar. We'll turn it back to Julie to discuss questions and close this out. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's webinar. If you submitted a question in the questions panel during the webinar, the Walmart team will actually answer your question offline after the conclusion of the webinar. So take a moment to submit questions if you haven't had a chance to already. And with that, I would like to thank everyone for attending today's webinar, and we are going to conclude it now. Thank you again, and good night.